It's 6:30 and I'd like to call the meeting to order. I would like to appoint Amy as Secretary Pro Tem for the evening. Roll call.
Free partner,
Yes.
Greco, Rasheva, Hobbs. Here. Victor, here. Weber. Here.
Are there any corrections or changes to the agenda? Okay, hearing none. It's time for public comment. Who would like to go first?
Hello.
Okay.
I was just wondering, why is the sign down for like 3 weeks not working?
We need an upgrade from 3G to 4G, and with our power outage that we had that week of, in and out throughout town, it went out. But with the latest power surge, brought it back up. But that's the case. It's right now we're on a 3G system. It needs to be upgraded to 4G. But it's working, so.
And my next question is, I have a family vacation coming up this fall, and I was wondering how I apply to get one of those interest-free 10-month loans for my airfare.
Not with us, Jennifer, not with us.
Well, yeah, I'm a taxpayer, so.
I didn't hear what you said.
I was wondering where I picked up an application to get one of those interest-free family vacation air flights for 10 months.
Anything else, Jennifer?
That's all I got.
Okay. Anyone else? Yes, Carolyn.
The two things that I would like to address this evening are the two issues that are there for executive session, the director search and the trustee appointment. I want to let you know that I was very honored and very happy to serve on that director search committee. I felt that it was really time very well spent, and I hope that the other members of that committee, Amy and Paula and Anna, appreciated or thought that my input was positive and worthwhile, and that it was beneficial for me to be there as we went through the applications and then the interviewing process. And I look forward to hearing that hopefully very shortly we can appoint, or we can hire, not appoint, but hire a new director. But that leads into the second issue, the second thing that's on your executive session this evening, and that is the appointment of a new trustee. And because I served on that committee, and I think you can understand that I am very interested and am ready and willing and highly motivated to be part of the Seneca Public Library, that you give my letter of interest and my resume and my, as you discuss the trustee appointment this evening. And I sincerely hope, I'm sure that you will make a good decision, and that you put my name in there as a consideration for that position. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Sharon.
Okay, I've got at least 4 points I want to touch on.
Okay.
I want to touch on the fact that the library needs to be open every evening. This is, other than Sunday, this is a taxpayer-funded public service. And my husband and I were discussing it, and he said, he's the one that brought it up. He said, that's public service. They should be open every evening. If the employees don't want to work the evenings, you get new ones. And I'm not trying to offend anybody, but that's the way it is. There are a lot of people that would love to work in such a nice place and have such convenient hours, and, just be able to do such what I would refer to as an easy job. And another one I would like to touch on is, you have an employee that was laid off due to COVID. Why hasn't she been brought back? I don't understand why you would hire from a temp agency if you had an employee that was laid off and is still laid off, that has been brought back, and she's an experienced employee. And then also I don't know, I know you're working on the employee handbook, I assume you are, and I don't know if any of you were employed in supervision. I was in supervision at 2 different companies. One was in Ottawa, another one was up in Bolingbrook for Sprint PCS Call Center. It was a 500-seat call center. They ran 3 shifts, and we were thoroughly trained by HR as far as the discipline and how to treat our people and what to expect. We had, our people had, they were well aware of what their job description was. You had to be very careful what you did. They had to know the expectations, because how are they gonna do their job if they didn't know what expectations were? They were, they were tardy, consistently tardy. You talked to them, and they were expected to improve. If there was discipline that was coming, if you saw a habit that was consistent, you talked to them about it. If it continued, you gave them a verbal warning, and you documented it. If it didn't improve, they got their first written warning, and you documented it, and they signed it. If it still didn't improve, they got a second written warning, and they signed it. And if it still didn't improve, then they were out the door, and they knew that they were going to be out the door if there wasn't immediate changes. And then there was termination. We didn't bring in other employees to set someone up. That's against the law. And we didn't have affidavits for taken from other employees either. That is not legal. And I don't care if this is a right to work state. You cannot fire someone unless, they have to have annual reviews, they have to have periodic reviews. You just don't fire someone because you don't like them. You have to be a fair person. I know each and every one of you have held jobs. You've held jobs, and it's just not something, you wouldn't want to be graded by anything other than something fair like that. And you can't, if you don't like someone, you can't let that show. You still have to treat them in a fair, courteous manner. Another thing I'd like to bring up, the last thing I want to bring up, is, well, and there's two things. One thing, it's my understanding we've got a child at the library that comes every day. Does your insurance company know about that? That is a liability for the library, but not even including that. That's kind of like running a daycare. We've got a lot of single parents, single women, single men that have children that might not make a very big salary, but they're having to pay for daycare. And I think if we're letting someone bring a child to work with them, every day is not bringing your child to work with you. There's one day set out of the year. If we're going to allow one person to bring their child to work, and we're going to run a daycare, let's let the other taxpayers know that, hey, this is a really nice place for a daycare. Let them know the options there, because it's not fair to let one person bring their child in here for daycare. And not only that, I think that's also considered, I don't know if it runs along the same manner, but let's say if somebody has a pretty cushy job and they're given a car also to use as part of their job, that has to be claimed on your income tax. So I don't know if something like that would figure in on your income tax as an added perk or not. But I think you better check with the insurance company, and you might also want to check with the library lawyer.
I think your time is up.
Okay,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
gonna take 1 minute. It's not fair to let employees, I already know who you're gonna pick, so you don't need to worry about going into executive session for your library member, because it's already out. Don't let employees tell you who they want you to pick for the library board member. They're employees, and it's not right, it's not fair to the other people that apply. They're here every meeting, not to even be considered, because somebody thinks one of them is too condescending, or they don't like them. These are good people.
Your time is over.
Fine, I've said
Thank
my
you.
piece.
Who's next? Anybody else want to speak?
I'll speak.
Sure.
I noticed that you do have a public notice about the budget, but the copy that I was given is not numbered, so the ordinance doesn't have a number to it.
Because it's not legal yet.
Okay, so there's no ordinance number, it's not signed.
No, because it has to go before the board.
So your working budget that you approved is not numbered
That's
or
a
signed?
tentative budget.
Okay, so it's not required to be signed and it's not required to be numbered?
No.
And in years past, you passed that in September, and I noticed you moved it up to August. And it just seems like an odd year to do that while you're in the middle of hiring a director. The director should be part of the budget process. So I just wondered why all of a sudden the shift in moving it to August?
else? Yes, Donna?
Number one, could you all speak up? I forgot my hearing aids
Oh,
tonight.
okay, we'll try.
And I'm pretty good at reading lists, but not real good. Going forward, and I know a lot of this did not happen overnight, and it's gonna take some time going forward to fix. However, I do hope that the board is very open to some of the items that have been found that need addressed. Nobody's accusing, I mean, this was years ago, but going forward, how are you going to correct and not do it again? Also, if we're having an audit, I hope there is gonna be one, that, is it gonna be internal that does it, or is it gonna be hired out? And I think it would be very wise for the board to consider hiring a different person to do the audit, not the same people that have done it, not an internal, by any of the board of trustees. I think it should be external. And, another thing is with the policies, I do hope with the new director that they're enforced, and that there should be an employee review every year. Most organizations, I had one every year. I had to answer, and man, they were really heavy on my butt for it too. But it's just a good procedure, and then you know what's expected of you, and you know what needs to be done or what areas you need to improve in. So, that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else, please? Okay, public comment then is closed. Okay, the next thing is the approval of the minutes, and, first off, looking at the minutes of, June 16th, 2021, the regular meeting minutes, are there any additions or changes?
I think she did a very good job.
It's amazing. Okay, a motion then to,
A lot of information.
a lot of work. A motion then to approve these minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, so, roll call?
Hobbs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Victor, yes, free partner.
Yes. Okay, the special board meeting minutes of July 13th, 2021. Any additions or corrections?
I make a motion, we approve them.
Second from Margie. Roll call?
Hobbs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Victor, yes, free partner.
Yes. Okay, next up, the search committee meeting minutes from 6/22/21 and 7/6/21. Any additions or corrections?
I have none.
Those are printed both
No, we're back
sides.
to back. Yeah, I'm not killing trees.
Yeah.
You need
Okay.
a motion to approve.
Needed a motion. Lynn, it's your, okay, Margie?
We'll all take a turn.
Second?
Second.
Okay. Roll call?
Hobbs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Victor, yes, free partner.
Yes. Okay, the last set of minutes are from the Personnel Committee meeting of 6/25/21. Any additions or corrections?
No, okay. I make a motion, we approve the personnel committee meeting minutes.
Second.
Hobbs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Victor, yes, free partner.
Yes. Okay, we have the treasurer's report. and no treasurer to explain anything. So I imagine what we probably need to do is if you have a question concerning anything, that we take those down and then we either ask the bookkeeper or, I think the bookkeeper is the one who did the work this time.
Which one are you looking at?
Let's look at the fund activity investment balances, preliminary June 2021. Anybody
This one.
see anything that's,
Yeah, I did see something on there.
okay, what,
On the special reserve fund, there's, the list of the CDs, and it says the very first one, the OSB, Ottawa Savings Bank one. I think there's a mistake there on the income. It says that the income this month was 3,432.
oh, I think not,
Yeah, that cannot be right.
no. Yeah, let's, circle
Just
that
a minute.
and,
Well, it's-
3,432, that may be the income for the entire year that's credited once per year.
Okay, but even so,
Oh.
it's only a $135,000 CD, and at 0.25%, it cannot be $3,400.
.25.
Yeah, for an 18-month CD, it would maybe be like, I'm doing quick math here, 130? No, I guess it would be,
Oh, and I had those
it might be
figures.
like 450, but it's certainly not $3,000. So, it's probably a typo, I just noticed it, and
Okay.
you need to check into it.
Definitely address that, cause, no, that's way
Special,
off,
so it's special reserve fund interest income.
yeah.
It's the OSB CD. The first line item there.
I did not see that. Whoa. An adjournment. Okay, on the back side is the district financial report.
And this is a little thing, but the date on the top is.
Oh, yeah, that's right, we talked about that, didn't we?
Yeah, it should say July 1st, 2020
yeah.
through June 30th, 2021.
Yeah, so that's a human error. We'll need to correct that. Did you see anything else that looks like we're actually did pretty well with the budget? Okay, the page 1 of 3, the disbursements.
And I have a couple of questions, but it's just because I'm new kid on the block. ACT Systems, what is that? What does that do? What did they do?
It's our security system.
The
Okay.
security.
That's security?
Oh, no, I'm sorry, that's Snapchat, that's our IT guy.
Yeah, the
What is
IT,
it?
It's what?
the technology.
The
IT
technology,
guy.
the IT guy.
Okay, computer guy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes more sense. And I'm just asking again, this question I should be asked Mary while she was here, but the QuickBooks payroll service, I assume that that amount is like the total of what comes out
Mhm.
for payroll,
Yes.
and that's why each employee is 0, okay. Oh, ask about the insurance company.
Oh, that Crum Halsted
Crum Halsted,
agency.
I don't exactly, do you know the background on that one?
What's the void?
Well, I know that we were getting a bond, and then suddenly I see this is void. I actually don't understand.
Well, further down,
Right.
like Yeah. about 8 down,
Yeah,
it does
yeah,
have
you-
another,
Wow.
to switch insurance companies or do,
Right.
or something.
And I'm wondering if Crum Halsted couldn't write the policy for some reason. but I don't know for sure.
And then down further, it's Grzyva surety bond.
Yes,
Mhm.
right,
And that's still all part of that picture, yes?
Yes.
yes, so,
So it went from the one company who couldn't do it evidently to the one who could do it. Anything on the last page, 3 of 3?
either that or we made the check to the agency, and it was supposed to be made to the insurance company is what I'm guessing. We sent the check in the agent's name, and it was supposed to be made directly to the insurance company.
That's
So that's why the
possible
void
too.
was there?
Yeah. It's generally, you make those checks directly to
Oh,
the
sure,
insurance
because
company
it
that is
says
copying it.
Liberty Mutual here, so
Right.
then it,
They were supposed to make the check to Liberty Mutual, and they made it to Crum Halstead by accident,
Okay.
so.
Thank you.
I'd say that shall return.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions concerning the financials? Okay, motion to accept and approve.
It's now accept and approve the treasurer's report and disbursements.
You're saying?
Yeah, I'll say it.
Say it.
That's fine. We need a second, though.
I'll second.
Hobbs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Victor, yes, free partner.
Yes. Well, I think I'd like to address two things this evening. We really would like to get those evening hours back, but I think it's going to take the director to make it happen. And hopefully, we will have her in place early in August. And she'll have to consider all the staffing. We are short on staff, and we'd like to cover those hours. So hopefully that'll be one of the first things that she takes charge of when she gets here. The second is we absolutely do intend to do an outside audit. And I think probably what will happen is, because of the amount of it, it will have to be a bid process. So we'll take a look at, what did we say, Margie, 2 or 3 companies? And
I have 3 right now.
yeah, but first we have to figure out all, what are we going to audit? And once we get that nailed down, we'll send those bids out and see what the cost is gonna be to do that. We've got a line item in the budget for it, so hopefully we won't have to use the entire line item. But we do absolutely feel that we need to do some type of outside audit.
Will that be a deep dive audit?
That's what they call it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
A deep dive audit, yes. Do you want me to say anything?
Sure.
The companies that I've spoke with, there's a particular name for it, and they even refer to it as a deep dive audit as well. I'm not gonna say how many years, but it will be going back some amount of years, and, they also have a stipulation in their contracts basically that say that if something were to come up that looks suspicious, we sign a contract that leaves the door open, that if it requires further investigation, that we allow it. And that's kind of standard, and that's what we're looking for. So, it is in the works.
You mean like forensic audit?
No, it will not be a forensic audit.
I mean, if it starts as a deep dive and they think it's more suspicious, is that what they're going through then?
They will just dig deeper, but we have to basically sign a contract saying, because they're liable as well. So if they see something, they will keep looking. They do.
Okay, the library statistical report, were you gonna handle that, Anna?
I can.
Good.
I won't bore you with the numbers, it's right there.
Well, the most exciting thing on here to me is 17 patron cards
Yeah,
added.
last month was like 13, and we just kept going up. Last month we started summer reading in-person programming, and we had, I think my first meet, I had 70-something people at the park.
70?
Mhm. And, we've had some here in the.
Little
in the room.
louder.
Yeah.
Love it.
Can't hear you.
We've started in-person programming, and it's gone well. We've had some in-house, and we had, the reptile guy here was 75-something people, which is kind of, Liz has continued to do the take and make crafts. She hopes to do in-person soon as time allows. Our transactions are going up. We're about double what we were this time last year. So it's stayed pretty steady. Altogether, electronic, we've had 568 in June. May, we had 595, so we went down a little bit, but we said we had 18 cards added to our registration.
Can I ask by electronic, I'm sorry, 568 electronic items, does that mean like, ebooks and everything that's pretty
Yeah,
much
that's-
online?
yeah. Mhm.
So if
That's our-
somebody goes online and checks out books,
That's our ebooks, our hoopla, it's got movies and music. So yeah, that's Overdrive and Access 360.
that's what I was gonna, that's the next thing. I know Overdrive is typically the ebooks.
Yeah, and Access 360 is also.
Oh, it's also the ebooks, okay. And
And then-
Hoopla is,
It does have ebooks to sell on it too, but it's music and CDs and movies.
oh, Hoopla is
Oh,
music?
yeah.
A lot of,
Yeah, it has music and movies
And movies.
and ebooks. And we've had that probably about a year now, so.
okay.
I will add though too, and it's not on here, but we went back to our evening hours 3 weeks ago now. And in those 3 weeks, we've had one person for those 2 hours expense, so a little bit there. Is there any questions I can answer about it?
How many days?
Isn't it just one night?
It's one night a week.
Thursdays, right?
So in 3 weeks' time, we've had one person walk through the door on Thursday
After
night.
6 o'clock, yes.
Ouch.
But your sign was broken for 3 weeks too.
Yeah, we could have advertised that better, but the sign is, how often does the sign get like updated or changed or?
I mean,
Can
I
you do
update
it?
it, yeah, I update it, as we have things change. Yeah, that was an unfortunate event with the sign. I contacted our sign people, and they said, they informed me of the update, which I wasn't aware of, that we need to switch from 3G to 4G, and that was going back from December. And with our power coming back on, it just kind of rebooted itself up. So it still does need an update, but we can still function with it like that.
And it can be changed.
It can be changed, and that's what my first initial change, I was nervous that I was gonna turn off again. It worked.
Well,
So
and,
we'll
and one of the things that came to light, he had a sentence at the bottom that,
Yeah, so he quoted me a new sign, because we learned that one is end of life. If something were to break, we can't get parts for it,
so the debate was, do we do the upgrade
which is.
and the thing goes out the next week?
Right.
Or do we
What's
take
the
a
new
look
one
at,
cost?
yeah, what's the cost of a whole new sign? And
Well,
it was,
it's just the box, it's not the sign itself, it's just the electronic
yeah,
box,
the
right?
box,
Okay,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, for the upgrade, yeah, you wouldn't be changing the sign. For the upgrade, it was like $1,400.
so we didn't know whether throw $1,400 away or,
And then break. But instead, so I had him quote me on a price for a new one altogether, and they start from 19,000 to 26,000 for a whole new sign. So I'm glad it's working right now, because we don't have that.
How old is that sign?
oh,
I have it in my folder. I don't know off the top of my
been there
head.
for quite a while.
Yeah, it's old.
I'm still teaching.
That's the original one, I think.
Well, there used to be that handheld thing you put things in, so I don't think it's more than.
Yeah, so I mean, the debate was, we talked back and forth, you know, do you go for a new sign? Do you throw 1,400 on it and then the next week it goes down or gone?
It might be a good idea to talk to like the village and see what they paid for their sign up there, and even the grade school, and just it's all the same company, I don't know if there's other
Yeah.
companies that are out there, is it all
Yeah.
Signworks or whatever? Yeah.
Now, so that's something that the new director is gonna have to deal with too. Yeah, just load her plate. Okay, committee reports. Thank you, Anna. Committee reports, Director Search Committee report.
Do you wanna handle that? Cause I gotta do the personnel, which one do you wanna do, cause we're the only ones who
Oh,
are there.
I don't even know if I have any information, that I wrote down.
I mean, I was gonna wing it.
Oh.
The director.
What do
I mean, the
just
minutes
tell
are there.
the director? Well, we are in negotiation with our candidate, and the purpose of the board meeting tonight, one of them is to kind of deal with the negotiations, and we think we have an outstanding candidate, and we hope that this is the person that we get. And starting time, we're looking at August 9th, so that we have the money so that we can pay this person. And I think you'll be pleased with the candidate that we've chosen. Anything else?
It's good.
Okay. Personnel Committee report.
Want me to do that one?
Yeah. That was an all-day work session. Whew.
The Personnel Committee met, we examined the manual that was provided by HR Source. We've got to page 26 of it. We have to meet again.
Okay, new business. It is now 7:02, and we need a motion to go into executive session.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Lynn, second?
I'll-
Okay, so,
Hold it,
I'm
hold it, I gotta
sorry,
read the roll. Just a minute.
Oh,
Hobbs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Victor, yes. Free partner.
yes.
All right, we're moving into executive session at 7:03.
So. Are we ready? Okay. Under the open session board appointment of trustee. Motion.
I'll make a motion, we open it.
Okay.
I'll second.
We're not-
You already wrote that down.
Yeah, we're in.
No,
in regular
no,
session.
I wanted a
Oh, we
motion.
need a
Okay.
motion to appoint
Okay.
somebody to the
I
position of trustee.
move that we choose to appoint Carolyn Kinsella to the Seneca Public Library trustee, as a trustee.
Until,
And we will do the
The next up.
actual oath and ethics statement at the August meeting.
you need a second. You need a second.
Second.
Roll call. Hobbs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Victor, yes. Free partner.
Yes.
Now you can.
We're happy.
We are too. We are too.
Now you can say what you were gonna say about the oath and the ethics statement.
Oh, yeah, the oath and ethics statement will be done in August. Yep.
Okay, next item of business, open session board authorization of salary for the director candidate.
Want to make that motion too?
Sure.
I move that we offer the prospective director candidate $75,000 as pay effective August 9th or soon after.
I'll second that. Hobbs,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Victor, yes. Free partner.
Yes. Okay, I get to appoint 2 trustees to audit the board book, which means the agendas and the minutes of this last year for the IPLAR, is that what it's called? For the IPLAR.
And who are you appointing?
I'm appointing Lynn and Margie.
I'll second that.
Sorry, I keep letting you down, I don't like it.
Okay. Hobbs,
Yes,
Weber. Yes. Victor, yes. Free partner.
Yes.
Okay, you guys are it.
A motion for adjournment, please.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it. At 7:42. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.